Good afternoon, all. This is Patricia, and I am traveling for history. I have another book recommendation for you today, and that book is The Loss of the SS Titanic, Its Story and Its Lessons, written by Lawrence Beesley. Let me give you the description first, and then I'll tell you about the audible portions of this and talk about the book. Quote, Lawrence Beesley was a passenger on the Titanic's maiden voyage and therefore a survivor of its tragic loss. In this audiobook, he narrates the circumstances of the ship's collision with an iceberg and the strange, unexpected behavior of the passengers who found it hard to believe anything at all had happened. Unquote. So this book ran for 4 hours and 51 minutes, and the narrator, this guy has the most British name I could ever think of or conjure up. And you can let me know in the comments below what you think about the narrator's name. His name is Felbrigg Napoleon Harriot. Felbrigg. Let me show you the cover of the book. And that's, let me try moving this closer. I think that's better. Some backlighting. That looks pretty clear. I have a screenshot so you can see it better as a thumbnail. So as to the voice, I liked it for this book. Would I like it for other books? Hard to say. The voice was kind of breathy, and a male's voice, by the way. And I don't know. The jury's out on that one. But I thought the voice for this book was perfectly fine. Did it feel like it ran for 4 hours and 51 minutes? Yes, but let me be clear. There's a difference between the type of long, right? This was not long. This was just right. So Lawrence Beesley, as stated, was a survivor of the Titanic. And I really liked the way the book is written. That he would be talking about, so for instance, the ship has hit the iceberg. It was barely discernible. And he had gone, initially he went up on deck. And then when he came back downstairs, he stopped into a gentleman's area where there were gentlemen in there playing cards and eating some food. And he engaged in conversation with them, and they laughed about the idea that he'd been on deck dressed in his nightshirt and that type of clothing. And then when he's finished talking about how he had talked to them, he remarked that he hadn't seen them again. So he would talk about interactions and then talk about whether or not he saw people after that. I liked that. I liked the information conveyed that way. I thought that was very interesting. Because some people, he did comment that he saw them later on the Carpathia. I recommend this book because of the way it's written, the way he describes things, the lifeboat experience. I don't think I can recall reading something like that. Now I've been looking for a Titanic book to read and then hopefully recommend as well. And of the ones I've listened to the narration of, the sample, it's like, oh God, each one is worse than the last. But then I came across this one, and as I said, the narrator's voice was okay for this book. What I wanted for other books, I'm not sure. But it's well written, it's interesting, and knowing that the author was a survivor, wow. Just wow. So I do recommend this book. I think if this is a type of history you'd be interested in, the Titanic, then I think you would enjoy this book. I know I did, and I think as a viewer of my channel that you would also like this. Again, is the loss of the SS Titanic, its story and its lessons by Lawrence Beesley. Now, it's interesting that this title here is a bit different. This different is the loss of the Titanic, and but the full title is the loss of the SS Titanic. Blah blah. So when I searched for it because of this title here, when it came up as the loss of the SS Titanic, I actually didn't think it was the same book, but it is. So it's just really good, well written, well explained, lots of interesting descriptions. So on that note, I recommend the book, and should you decide to read it, I'd love to know your take on it too. You can put that in the comments below. And this is Patricia. I'm traveling for history, and until I see you again, thanks for watching. Bye now.